This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So we're going to talk transfer window. Basically, it was a bit of a weird one. I don't think that many massive transfers have happened, although I think the January transfer window is becoming more about loans nowadays. But yeah, so I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to, the first part is I'm just going to read off a list of the Premier League transfers on deadline day, and then I'm going to read a list of the top 10 transfers that have happened throughout this window for all clubs, including European ones. So let's do that first. So the first one, like I say, is just for deadline day and just for Premier League. So Fulham got Shane Duffy from Brighton. I don't know much about him, but I'm sure it's an undisclosed fee as well, so I don't really know anything about that transfer. If you know anything about these players, then do let me know in the comments below, okay? Okay, Diogo Monteiro from Servette in Switzerland to Leeds, undisclosed fee. Harrison Ashby, West Ham to Newcastle for 3 million. I'm guessing he's a youngster. Jude Soonsup-Bell, Chelsea to Spurs, undisclosed. We'll come back to this one later, but João Cancelo, bit of a shocker, from Man City to Bayern. Nathan Opoku from FTM Fieldmasters Sporting Club to Leicester on a free. Is FTM Fieldmaster Sporting Club in an African country, maybe like Ghana or something? Then we got Sasha Lukic from Torino to Fulham for 8 million. He's a really good player. Jorginho going from Chelsea to Arsenal for 12 million. I think it's a brilliant move both for him and Arsenal. Ilya Zabani from Dynamo Kiev to Bournemouth for 24 million. We'll come back to that later. Naouirou Ahamada from Stuttgart to Crystal Palace for an undisclosed fee. Albert Sambi Lokonga from Arsenal to Crystal Palace on loan. He's a decent young player, isn't he? Felipe from Atletico Madrid to Nottingham Forest for an undisclosed fee. Hamed Junior Traore from Sassuolo in Italy to Bournemouth on loan. He's a decent player. Traore, is he a wing back? I think he's pretty decent. Pedro Porro from Sporting Lisbon to Tottenham on loan. I think that with an option to buy, right? We'll talk more about him later. He appears on that list. Keylor Navas from Paris Saint-Germain to Nottingham Forest. I mean, I can't understand why you wouldn't want to have Wayne Hennessy as your number one goalkeeper. Not. But yeah, Keylor Navas is an amazing signing for them. Jonjo Shelvey from Newcastle to Nottingham Forest, undisclosed. I'm not a massive fan of Jonjo. He's got bags of ability, but his temperament is really poor. He's played... I'm a lifelong Newcastle, I can't say fan, I suppose, but, you know, sympathiser, or, yeah, whatever, let's call myself a fan. So I'm a Newcastle fan, and obviously Swansea City is my club, being a Swansea boy, and he did really poorly at both clubs, so yeah, I don't really like him. Sorry, but, you know, he's got bags of ability, but I don't like him. Harry Souttar from Stoke to Leicester for 15 million. I think that is a brilliant purchase. He had an amazing World Cup. Although I always get scared because there are two Soutars, aren't there? One plays for Scotland and one plays for Australia. This is the Australian one, right? Marcel Sabitzer from Bayern Munich to Man United on loan. I didn't realise that he was at Bayern Munich, but he's a really good midfielder, Austrian international. So yeah, he's excellent, and he'll provide cover while Christian Eriksen is injured. He's out for about 3 months, I think. Kamaldeen Sulemana from Rennes to Southampton for 22 million. I watch Rennes normally, and Suleiman is like decent, but he's not as good as about 2 of their other strikers and wingers. So I try to think how much they are worth if he's worth 22 million. Paul Onuachu from Genk to Southampton for 18 million. He is a really good, tall, strong, decent Nigerian striker. I think that he will get them goals and help hold the ball up and knock it off to players around him. He's a really good acquisition. Cedric Suarez, the forgotten man at Arsenal, doesn't get a game, gone to Fulham on loan. He'll be pretty decent for them. Enzo Fernandez from Benfica to Chelsea, 106 million. They bought him 4 months ago for 10 million from, I want to say, River Plate. It's absolutely nuts. I cannot believe the spending that Chelsea have done in this window. I know loads of you Chelsea fans, and I think they just throw money at the problem. Is it a sign that they're backing the manager? It could be. But you know, is it? Are they on the right amount for the right players, or are they panic buying? Time will tell. But they've spent so much money in this window, it's crazy. Okay, let's talk about the top 10 signings then overall, including European clubs. So number 10, and this is from the app FootMob, and I'll say if I agree with them or not. Yeah, I'll say if I agree with them or not. So Jan Sommer, Borussia Mönchengladbach to Bayern Munich. They were after a goalkeeper. Lots of people got mentioned, like Livakovic, but they've gone for Jan Sommer. He's already been in that league for years. Very, very good goalkeeper for the Swiss national team. He'll do absolutely fine there. Number 9, Leandro Trossard from Brighton to Arsenal. I really hope it works out for him. He's a really good player, and it's difficult, it's 50-50 when a player's been doing really well for an underachiever or a club that's overachieving like Brighton, and then they make that step up. Were they just having a good season? Did they just fit into whatever was going on at that club? Or are they a good enough player they can do it wherever they go? I hope it's that latter one for him. He seems like a nice guy and a really good player. Number 8, Malo Gusto from Lyon to Chelsea. I know nothing about him, but yeah, young Frenchman, and he's a right back. So 7, Harry Suter from Stoke to Leicester, and yeah, so it is, yeah, following his impressive campaign in Qatar, it's Leicester who snapped him up. He was one of the, I left him off my list, and one of you commented that he definitely should have been on there, and afterwards I thought, yeah, he should have been on the list of top 10 Asian players in the World Cup. Sorry. Okay, number 8, Ilya Zabani from Dynamo Kiev to Bournemouth. So really, really good player. I know Dynamo's team, but I don't recognise him. So yeah, but this article saying that he is a heck of a talent, and they're lucky to have gotten him, so that's quite cool. Number 5, Benoit Badiashile from Monaco again to Chelsea. So another young player, this time a centre-back, 35 million, 21-year-old. Hopefully he can do the job. They do need to have a long-term replacement for Thiago Silva, because he's like ancient, isn't he? He's still amazing, but... Number 4, Azzedine Ounahi from Angers to Marseille in France. He, of course, was the player that was so instrumental in Morocco's run in central midfield. I think lots of suitors in the Premier League, but Marseille managed to snap him up. So yeah, I really hope the best for him. Angers are like bottom of the league in France, and Marseille are currently in third, but they're starting to catch up on the top two, so he looks to be getting Champions League football rather than being in a relegation fight, so, you know, good for him. Number 3, Pedro Porro from Sporting Lisbon to Tottenham. Weird situation here, he's a right back. They've got a couple of right backs, so they said to Matt Doherty, okay, you can go on loan to Atletico Madrid. Then they realised that they've already got 8 or 9 players out on loan, and you can't have any more. So, with the player's consent, they actually cancelled his contract, and he went on a free to Atletico Madrid instead. So I think Atletico have got a really decent player. I hope he finds his form, because he's struggled at Tottenham. I hope he finds his Wolves form, I should say. But yeah, so Pedro Porro apparently is, you know, young players coming from the Portuguese league are always, you know, very excellent technicians and lots of potential. Portugal has got one of the best teams in the world, definitely Europe at the moment, so they've got one of those players. Number 2, Michailo Mudryk from Shakhtar to Chelsea. I'm really excited about watching him personally. I think that he's going to be a wonderful acquisition, and yeah, I really hope that he can do it in the Premier League. And number 1, João Cancelo from Man City to Bayern Munich. So the article says that the Portuguese fullback had become a bit part player for Pep after the World Cup, and his frustrations over a lack of game time reportedly culminated in a training ground bust-up between the player and coach before the FA Cup clash with Arsenal. So he's gone straight away, he's just gone. And obviously he's a big talent, and is it what Bayern Munich need to solidify yet another title, because it's much closer than it has been in many years. They're about like 1 point above the competition at the top of the table in Germany, which is about 19 points fewer than where they usually are. So yeah, I think they just want another attacking element, this time down the right hand side from the wing back position, to create more goals. So yeah, that's interesting. I was really shocked at that one. I think probably, which is my favourite one? Probably Mudryk to Chelsea. I think that's a really exciting one. Or Trossard to Arsenal. I think they're both really exciting wing players. My favourite sort of position. If I were a footballer, I would definitely play on the wing. Not that I've got any ability whatsoever, but, you know, in my imagination. So they're always my favourite players. And yeah, I really hope the pair of them do very well. Who is your favourite acquisition for your club? My club, Swansea, had a horrific transfer window. They signed 1 youth player, got rid of about 7 players, and brought no one in. So yeah, we're in a worse position than we were at the beginning of the window, which is so typical for our American owners. They take all the money out of the club and they don't put any back in. Very frustrating. We're trying to push for a spot in the playoffs to get back in the Premier League. We're playing really well. We need some extra players. We've just lost for months our goalkeeper, haven't replaced him. We need a goal scorer, haven't brought one in. We had some deals lined up, they fell through. So we got rid of players, but we didn't bring anyone in, and we're in a worse situation than we were before. I just hope, you know, we can still bring in some free transfers. Maybe we can bring someone in to do a job for a season or two who's a little bit older, just to get us over the line and hopefully into the playoffs. But there you go, the life of a Swansea City football fan. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video. Click like for me, drop a comment and let me know about your favourite transfers in this window, and tell me any other bits of gossip. Okay, thanks so much. See you soon everyone, take care, bye 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 bye.